Tenemos a esta hora comunicación con Afganistán. Está con nosotros a esta hora una parlamentaria, la señora Farzana Kochai. Ella es parlamentaria o exmiembro del Parlamento afgano. Mrs. Kochai, thank you very much for having the time to talk to us. Good morning.
Thank you so much for having me.
La primera pregunta es, ¿dónde está y cómo está? Could you please tell us where are you right now, what city, and how are you?
Yeah, thank you. I'm right now in Kabul, and I've been here when the things happened in Afghanistan, and especially in Kabul. I've been through those all things, and yet I'm in Kabul.
Estoy en Kabul, estaba acá cuando empezaron todos los hechos y sigo aquí. He estado durante todo lo que ha sucedido y aquí me quedo.
La pregunta para ella es, ¿qué significa para ella y para Afganistán el regreso del talibán? Mrs. Kochai, could you please explain to the world what it means, the return of the Taliban to Afghanistan? What does it mean for the country, and what does it mean to you?
Yeah, thank you. It's a different question I've been through these days. Thank you for asking that. Coming back the Taliban, it was not an unexpected thing at all. We were expecting Taliban to participate in our government, to participate in our society, to come back and to be here and just leave the war and battlefield. We were expecting them, but not like what happened. We were expecting them to be here and based on a settlement or an agreement, that a peace settlement that should be done by the government, international community, in the Taliban, in the region, countries, some of them who are supporting the Taliban, were supporting the Taliban, and these all should be included on that settlement. We were expecting that kind of coming of Taliban, but we've been through coming Taliban with all the forces and gunmen and gunfires and taking the control of the city, the Kabul, the capital, and the provinces before, and just being here. For me, as a woman, as a human, not just an MP or member of parliament, I just think to this, like, it's not clear that what happened. Has there been any deal, any settlement? Not yet even. We are facing a vacuum of power right now. So for me, it was a shocking and unexpected thing that happened for all Afghan. And we believe that this way coming of Taliban and taking control is the failure of the international, US, Afghan government, and all of us. We just fall into the Taliban with nothing discussed and nothing final with the women's rights, journalists, media, human rights, and what's coming up, and what form of government would we have, how would be the participation of minorities and women, and all these things. We are not clear about any of that. Just the Taliban took control, and that's it. So I just was shocked.
Bueno, la pregunta que me haces, Luis Carlos, es algo que me he venido preguntando todos estos días. ¿Qué significa la vuelta del talibán a Afganistán? La verdad es que esto es algo que esperábamos. Nosotros suponíamos que eventualmente iban a volver. Esperábamos que llegaran, pero lo que no esperábamos es que llegaran de la manera en la que han llegado y cómo sucedió. Pensábamos que eventualmente los talibán volverían a través de un acuerdo de paz, que habría un acuerdo o conversaciones con el gobierno, con la región, con actores internacionales y con los talibán. Pero la realidad es que lo que ha pasado es que se tomen el país con armas, que se tomen provincias para luego tomarse Kabul, no era algo que esperábamos. Como mujer, como persona, esto no es como miembro del Parlamento, lo digo como persona, no está claro lo que ha pasado. En este momento tenemos un vacío de poder y la realidad es que estamos todos choqueados. Hemos caído nuevamente en las manos de los talibán sin saber qué va a pasar. No hemos tenido discusiones acerca de cómo se manejará el tema de los derechos humanos, de las minorías, de las mujeres, cómo se manejará el Parlamento. La realidad es que no sabemos qué pasará. Pensábamos que esto iba a suceder, pero no de esta manera.
Vamos a preguntarle a la parlamentaria Kochai qué espera ella que suceda con las mujeres, teniendo en cuenta pues que ella es una mujer y además parlamentaria. Ms. Kochai, what are women going to expect, or what do you expect for women under the Taliban regime from now on?
Thank you. In these 2 days or 3 days that we have been through all of these things and these fears and uncertain things that happened to in the capital to us, we were just stuck there and we were shocked, and we was hoping that something happened, that we know what our future is like. So I personally was expecting, and I'm expecting the Taliban that they should rule the way that the women has a participation in the transparency, and the role of the woman should be there in the society, guaranteed, and access to education and everything like this. I am expecting this yet too, because things are not clear enough for us that this will happen or not.
Bueno, en estos días, estos 3 días que han pasado desde que los talibán se tomaron Afganistán, hemos sentido mucho miedo, nos hemos preguntado qué es lo que ha sucedido y la verdad es que estamos choqueadas. Esperábamos que sucediera algo que nos diera algún tipo de claridad acerca de nuestro futuro, pero aún no ha sucedido. La verdad es que yo espero que los talibán digan que las mujeres podemos hacer parte de la sociedad, podemos tener participación, que seguiremos teniendo acceso a educación. Yo sigo esperando que eso suceda, espero que eso suceda, pero aún no sabemos.
Luis Carlos, me gustaría preguntarle a nuestra invitada si fue un error, si considera que fue un error la salida de las tropas estadounidenses de Afganistán.
Mrs. Kochai, we would like to know what's your opinion about the retreat, the U.S. Army and military forces retreat from your country. Was the correct choice by President Biden? Was this correct for you and for your country?
Unfortunately, no. You are following the news around the world, and the news of Afghanistan is on the top. You're hearing that no one is happy with this. But I just saw the President Biden speech last night, and it's like it can't satisfy us. We can't believe that these all words can be a good reason to leave us like this. We are not expecting that US should be here and allies forever, but at least this was happening, a peace settlement just in months. That should be taking place before US leaving the country. That should be done. Then the Taliban would be coming here like they would come here in presence of US and allies, NATO here. Then the government would be shared. No one would be afraid of that. You saw the heartbreaking image from International Airport of Kabul, that what happened to the people of Afghanistan, the desperateness here you can saw there. This all happened because the suddenly leaving everything to the Taliban. People know the Taliban. They were been with the Taliban for 20 years. They saw how they treated women, how they treated journalists, how they treated everyone, the military fighters or all of them. So we feel bad about this leaving of Afghanistan like this way. This was not what we were expecting at all.
Desafortunadamente no estoy de acuerdo con lo que hizo Estados Unidos. Si ustedes ven las noticias hoy, nosotros estamos de primeros en todas las noticias. Nadie está contento con lo que ha sucedido. Vi el discurso del presidente Biden, el que dio anoche, y no podemos creer que cualquier cosa de las que dijo sea una buena razón para haberse ido. Por supuesto, nosotros no esperábamos que estuvieran para siempre, que Estados Unidos estuviera para siempre en Afganistán. Pero lo que sí esperábamos es que existiera un acuerdo de paz antes de que se fueran. Si se hubiera hecho eso, si hubiese habido un diálogo, un acuerdo, si los talibán hubieran llegado mientras Estados Unidos estaba en Afganistán, podríamos haber hablado de un gobierno compartido, podríamos haber hablado de una transición un poco más sana, pero ustedes han visto igual que yo las imágenes dramáticas en el aeropuerto de Kabul, y esto sucedió porque se fueron de golpe y le dejaron todo a los talibán.
6:15, estamos en comunicación con Afganistán. Estamos entrevistando a una parlamentaria afgana, Farzana Kochai, en vivo desde Afganistán. Profesor Juan Lozano, pregunta, por favor.
Le quiero preguntar, Luis Carlos, en esas circunstancias que ella describe, ¿qué le piden a la comunidad internacional, a Naciones Unidas, a la OTAN? ¿Qué mensaje llevarle al mundo frente a la circunstancia actual?
Mrs. Kochai, right now the world is listening to you through our service. We would like to know, what's your message to the international community, to the United Nations, to NATO? What do you want to tell them? What do you want to tell the world about the situation, the current situation in your country?
Thank you so much. We have been in contact with those who are decision makers, like the President Biden, the international community, the UN, the president of the countries, the prime ministers of the countries who are here and serving, fighting against terrorism in Afghanistan. So we were been there. I'm just a little bit disappointed at the moment to have a message for the leaders of the world and international community itself. But I have a message for the common people, for the civilian, for those who had paid the taxes and contributed to Afghanistan's women and children and people of Afghanistan to have a better life. I'm thankful to all of them, and this is coming from my heart that I appreciate their contribution to Afghanistan. I just am worried if we have a chance of research and things that we conducted, why we face this failure, where the money that civilian paid for, and it was money for the civil people in the countries, how they been spent it that we ended up here. You saw the Afghanistan, the situation. You're seeing that. Why we ended up this situation here? Was there a government? Was this because the international community, or what?
Nosotros hemos estado en contacto con quienes toman decisiones, con los líderes mundiales, el presidente Biden, las Naciones Unidas, presidentes, primeros ministros de los países que están aquí o que estaban aquí. La verdad es que yo en este momento estoy muy desilusionada y no tengo un mensaje para los líderes. Sí tengo un mensaje para la gente común, para los civiles internacionales que durante años han puesto plata, han puesto de sus impuestos para mejorar la vida de los afganos. A ellos, muchas gracias. En este momento me preocupa si tenemos una chance de que las cosas mejoren o no, pero sí pienso en la gente que ha puesto plata en todos los impuestos que han llegado a Afganistán para ayudarnos, y no logro entender cómo a pesar de todo eso hemos llegado a esto.
Tiene preguntas, Santiago Ángel.
Sí, Luis Carlos, quisiera preguntarle a la parlamentaria Kochai si esto significa que Afganistán va a convertirse en el refugio para terroristas y grupos radicales de todas partes del mundo, si significa un punto de no retorno.
Mrs. Kochai, we would like to know what do you expect the Taliban's positions to be regarding terrorism, regarding Al-Qaeda, regarding other terrorist groups that could find harbor in your country. Is that something that is going to happen? Is this something that worries you?
About this question, the answer would be a little like challenging for me at this point, as we are here and can't be so clear at some point of that. So I can't talk about some point of that, but I will conclude this the answer in my response in that if the Taliban want to rule here, if the Taliban want to be here, if the Taliban want no resistance from civilian, from international community against them, so they need to fight the terrorism. They need to accept all the legitimacy, all the rules, all the values that international community should, as a member of international community, as a country, we should believe on that, and we should accept that. So I wish the Taliban could rule as we demand, and they could be as they are announcing this day. So this would be the reality of the Taliban if they could continue that. So we will be happy to build our country and to work for our nation.
Bueno, una respuesta acerca de esta pregunta sería bastante complicada en este punto porque la realidad es que no está claro qué va a pasar. Pero lo que creo es que si los talibán quieren estar aquí y quieren gobernar, si no quieren que haya resistencia y que la gente se oponga, tendrán que seguir las reglas y tendrán que estar de acuerdo y tendrá que haber alguna legitimidad de la comunidad internacional. La realidad es que en este punto esperamos, o yo espero, que los talibán gobiernen como nosotros estamos esperando o queremos que gobiernen. Esa sería la manera en la que sea un gobierno que aceptado por la comunidad internacional.
Estamos hablando con Farzana Kochai, ella es parlamentaria afgana, ella está en Kabul a esta hora. La pregunta para terminar es, ¿ella cómo se siente? Ella ahora, hoy, saldría a la calle sin cubrirse totalmente la cara, los ojos, saldría con una burka. ¿Cree que le puede pasar algo a ella como parlamentaria, teniendo en cuenta que los talibán no han querido a las mujeres y tienen unas leyes muy severas en contra de las mujeres? Mrs. Kochai, one last question, and thanking you for all your effort and the possibility of telling us what's going on in your country. The straight question is, how do you feel? Do you feel that you today can go out to the street without covering your eyes and your face, or just with a burqa? How do you feel about your personal security and the personal security of every single woman in your country?
Thank you. I never been out those 2 past days, but today I just went out with my brother wearing no burqa. I was wearing my ordinary dresses that I always dress up as a member of parliament and representing the nomadic people, the way that I should dress up. I just dress up like that, and I was out. I was renting a taxi, not my car, and not my guard and staff were not with me. So I was out and saw so many of the Taliban, and somewhere that we were waiting for the taxi and somewhere. So I've been a TV channel here, the local one, to have a conversation about the women. So I came back to here, and the thing that I want to mention is, which is very important at this point, the Taliban are not fully in charge of the staff in Afghanistan. Like, they are not ruling right now. They are just guarding the Kabul city because there is ongoing talk in Doha, I think. I don't know wherever. We don't have the update on that. But the power has not transferred to the Taliban yet. So the Taliban ruling time is not started yet. We are waiting, and we are looking forward to have the answers for this kind of question when the Taliban started the government and they started ruling the country. So that time it will take some days we will know that what their policy is, how they are saying. For now, they are not saying a word to anyone. Now they are not saying, but we will see whether they will be okay with this dressing, with this going out, with this being in media or not. The time will answer to this.
Bueno, Yo la verdad es que no había salido desde que todo esto sucedió. Hoy salí por primera vez con mi hermano a la calle. Salí sin la burka, salí con mi ropa normal, la ropa que uso para ir al Parlamento. Salí a la calle, cogí un taxi, no salí con mi carro y no salí con mis guardias de seguridad. Había muchos talibán, muchos con armas, pero yo fui y volví, y lo que quiero mencionar, que me parece sumamente importante, es lo siguiente. En este momento los talibán no están a cargo del gobierno. Están, abro comillas, cuidando, cierro comillas, la ciudad. Se ha hablado mucho, pero que esté claro que aún no se le ha transferido el poder a los talibán. Estamos esperando y tendremos las respuestas que necesitamos cuando ellos comiencen su gobierno. Eso no va a pasar de aquí a unos días. Una vez que tomen el gobierno, sabremos qué quieren hacer y veremos, por ejemplo, si están de acuerdo con el tema de que las mujeres podamos salir a la calle sin burka.
Farzana, usted es una activista femenina con un perfil muy alto. La han entrevistado en varios medios de comunicación. De hecho, sus últimos posts en Twitter hablan sobre la fortaleza de las mujeres en Kabul. ¿Siente usted seguridad sobre su vida? ¿Cree que le van a hacer algo? ¿Cree que la van a matar? Farzana, let me ask you this question with all the respect. You are a member of the Afghan parliament. You're a political and social activist. You have a very strong voice protecting the rights of women in your country. This is something that goes against the traditional ideas of the Taliban. Do you feel that you are a target? Do you feel that the Taliban eventually will go against you?
Yeah, thank you. This is a good question to be answered. You know, when the Taliban were fighting, like for past 20 years, we have been as a group of, for sure, against the Taliban. So the things that they were demanding, it's not okay for us. We can't accept that. So when they were not in Kabul, so everyone, for me, myself, I was unable to travel without bulletproof car and without guards. For sure I was, and I thought myself, I was always in fear of being targeted. For sure, the girls, the women like me were a target for the Taliban, but they were against them. But in this time, as I mentioned before, that they are not saying a word to anyone because they didn't started their ruling. They said that the thing would be as it was in the past. A small changes will happen, and they said that we won't have any business with anyone who are working in the government, who was anyone. So they are now saying that we won't say anything to anyone at all. We are risking. The thing is that yes, they are unpredictable, but what our responsibility, millions of Afghan women living in fear in their houses, locking themselves. We as a leader on community, leaders of women and youth, we have to appear and just give them a moral and what will happen, what will be the reaction of the top. We can't ourselves, and we can skip, and we are millions. We are not just one family that who can skip the country. We are millions here. We have to clear that what will happen to us. So that's why I'm trying to be here, and I was trying to clear the things here. So someone will sacrifice and will take the risk. I'm taking the risk.
Bueno, es una muy buena pregunta. Cuando los talibán estaban peleando hace 20 años, lo que ellos pedían o lo que ellos querían, por supuesto, no estaba bien para nosotros y nosotras no podíamos aceptarlo. Ellos antes no estaban en Kabul, existía la posibilidad de viajar en carros antibalas, pero siempre tuvimos en claro que nosotras éramos un objetivo. Por ahora no han dicho nada porque, como les dije en la respuesta anterior, ellos no han comenzado su gobierno. Nosotros creemos que habrá determinados cambios. Ellos dicen que no se van a meter con quienes están en el gobierno. Hay un riesgo y es que son impredecibles. Pero que quede algo claro, hay millones de mujeres afganas en este momento encerradas, temiendo por sus vidas, temiendo por sus futuros, temiendo qué es lo que va a pasar. Yo como líder, como lideresa, nosotros como líderes tenemos que darles fuerza y moral. Somos millones de mujeres y necesitamos saber qué es lo que va a pasar con nosotras. Y por eso estoy aquí. Alguien tiene que tomar el riesgo de estar aquí y yo lo estoy tomando por todas esas millones de mujeres que en este momento no saben qué les va a pasar.